Our top story this morning, could the charges, murder charge, be dismissed against an Oklahoma City pharmacist? It's a high-profile murder case. This got national attention when we saw the video of Jerome Ursuline, the pharmacist, actually shoot one of the people trying to rob him. Well, now his attorney is asking for the case to be dismissed. The attorney on the phone with us this morning, Irvin Box. Irvin, I know you're also our legal analyst, but right now you're putting on your defense hat for Jerome Ursuline. Tell me about what you've asked the judge to do.
Well, Robin, what we've asked the court to do is to reconsider this case and consider dismissing it. What happened was, originally when this case was filed, Dr. Collie Trant was the chief medical examiner. We know this is the medical examiners had a controversy. He was eventually fired, allegations of incompetency against him, and he was terminated. Well, he's the one that did the autopsy report on Antoine Parker, the person who was shot in the robbery at the pharmacy. We later, sometime after he left and an interim director was in place, interviewed the Dr. Chai Choi. Dr. Chai Choi said, well, we asked her if there were any mistakes on the report by Trent. She said, well, one thing, she would have never said that the wound inflicted, the first wound, which was non-fatal. This is the statement was made by David Frater, the district attorney at the time of the filing. If the first shot had killed him, then Jerome Ursuline would have been a hero. Well, we think he is a hero. The medical examiner says this first wound, which Dr. Trant said in his report was a grazing blow, was actually a wound that went through the left side of his brain, partial way into his right side of the brain, and she said it was not a non-fatal wound. So we think this charge should be dismissed.
Irvin, now, prosecutors say this is just semantics, and there really is no way of proving whether or not that was a fatal shot. So, I mean, what's the bottom line here?
Well, Stan, first of all, I know semantics. I don't think that's correct at all. Number one, if you say something is non-fatal, anyone on his face can see, any layman can see, non-fatal means that shot was not a fatal shot. She says, no, that's not correct. It was not a non-fatal shot. Well, the flip side of that is, guess what? It's a fatal shot.
Well, let me ask you this, because I know the district attorney says in some cases, Irvin, you can't have it both ways, that did the suspect who then was murdered, Antoine Parker, did he raise his head because that was the threat to Jerome Ursuline, the pharmacist, or was he dead on that first shot? I mean, there is kind of a, which story is it going to be?
Well, what I believe, Robin, is simply this. The first shot was a fatal shot.
All right.
Our position was you can't kill a dead man. You can't kill someone who's already dead or dying with another incident. So our position is Antoine Parker was dead with that first shot. There should not be a murder charge against Jerome Ursuline.
And fact of the matter is that this was in the commission of a robbery as well. I think that people tend to forget about this with the number of shots that had the robbery not being, if it weren't committed, this never would have happened.
Right. And in the commission stand of an armed robbery by mass robber.
Irvin, the trial set for later in September. Real quickly, what's going on with cameras in the courtroom? Will we see this played out? Because this video that people are watching right now was played out all over the country.
Robin, we're set for trial September 13th at 9 o'clock in the courtroom of Judge Tammy Bass LaSure. And right now, in place, there's an order allowing cameras in the courtroom throughout the whole proceeding.
All right. Irvin Box will be following to see if your request for a dismissal in the murder case of Jerome Ursuline, the Oklahoma City pharmacist, goes through. Irvin, thanks for talking with us this morning.
All right. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Stan.
Good morning.